Hi, it's Bruce Whipple. One of the questions I get asked almost always is, what industry should I do? That's a very, very personal decision. I can help you with the criteria to pick it. For instance, you want high profit margins, so there's some room for error and actually some cash at the end of the day for you. An industry which has mom and pops and a high percentage of basically unsophisticated businesses which you can consolidate. You want something where you can do something first, better, or different, as we've talked about in the past. Something where you can basically have a better mousetrap or at least improve on it. But what I almost always hear from someone when that question comes up is, I don't care what industry it is. I just want to make a lot of money. And I always say the same thing. That is not good enough. And the reason for that is, while I say that the system that Dan created, QLA, is simple, and it really is simple. Simple is not the same as easy. You will almost certainly have adversity along the way. You'll have setbacks along the way. And unless this is important enough for you for a reason other than money, there's a real tendency to say, didn't think it was going to be like this, and you turn away and go away. There's an example that always comes to mind is Thomas Edison, where he had, I think it was 10,000 experiments that failed before he ended up with a light bulb. And Napoleon Hill, who wrote Think and Grow Rich, was interviewing him, and he said to him, "Oh man, I mean, 10,000 times it didn't work. I mean, isn't there some point at which basically you decide to quit?" And Edison said, "No." He said, "I know 10,000 ways that don't work. I must be getting pretty close." So that's the reason that you need a strong why. One of the strongest whys that I've ever heard is from a person I'm mentoring now, and his son was born with Norrie's disease, and that means you're blind. And he said one of the reasons that he's doing this, in fact, the major reason he's doing this, is he wants to pick an industry and generate enough capital that he can fund research such that his son, before the father passes away, can see him. I don't think I've ever heard a bigger why than that. But do you think a guy with that kind of drive is going to quit when it gets tough? I would bet that he is not going to quit. So that's the really important part of this as well. Go ahead and figure out the why. And there can be tons of reasons. Maybe you're in an industry where someone had a bad experience, and you want to make sure that other people don't. There's a myriad of reasons, but that's a really important aspect of this. Napoleon Hill called in Think and Grow Rich, and if you haven't read it, you should, that the first step in achieving anything is to have a burning desire. And that's basically what that is, something that'll carry you through the times of hardship. So hope that is helpful. If it was, and if you'd like more videos, free reports, head over to brucewhipple.com, where we've got all of those things, and I think you'll find them helpful.